Hey guys, welcome to Over the BS with Blair and Sadé. We are dealing with a lot this week. We are over the cultural appropriation. It's just been raining down on us this week. All the Black women stuff that's happening to us. And this day actually has started off pretty heavy with some of the other stuff revolving around culture.
Yeah.
For those who've been on Twitter, we've got Central Park Karens acting out. We're dealing with Lana Del Rey coming for Black women for the second time after she was told to close her mouth. We've also got Doja, which is another story on its own. Blair, what's going on? It feels like every 5 seconds.
I've had it with white women.
Karen's gotta go.
Okay, so my thing about...
Look, wait, before you go
any further, with cultural appropriation, though, because there's so much just going on. I said we just got to start with cultural appropriation because I can't...
And then get into it. We'll start with the head.
So first of all, I want to ask you, what does cultural appropriation mean to you? Like, what is it? What do you hate about it? Or what's just one aspect about it that you cannot stand?
Oh, all of it. But in all seriousness, cultural appropriation is basically taking from one culture and benefiting off of it. And literally, if you just look at ways of like systematic oppression, how that works within different races, it's typically always white people because they're the ones who benefit off of other races.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Is there anything that you just like grinds your gears when it comes to this topic?
For me, it's just like you said, it's them benefiting off our culture and then not giving us any like credit for it. It's like, okay, you're gonna steal braids, you're gonna steal hairstyles, and you're not gonna say that you were influenced by Black women. It's just crazy to me.
And I can't stand that, so many people today, especially I've noticed with the younger generations, because I think we're in this time where everybody wants us all to live in harmony. And I totally get it. I'm all for peace. But we can't get peace if we're going to overlook these problems that we have in these cracks, how are we going to have a proper foundation to build peace off of if we can't rectify the problems from before? And I think so many times people are like, why can't we all wear braids? Braids are for everyone. We should all live in harmony. I'm like, but don't forget to tell, where you were inspired by, to wear this hairstyle. Just give the credit where it's due. Don't rename things and claim it as your own. Or I am not going to take your ignorance as a reason to let it bypass either. I think so many celebrities was like, oh, I didn't know it belonged to such and such. Do your work, sis. Do your work. Like, cite your sources. Any other job, you can't get away with just forging, copyright, any of that stuff. So the same thing definitely should happen when it comes to culture. I know we talked a little bit about a culture vulture family before. We talked about this on our own, not on this podcast, but the Kardashians. They are known for borrowing from cultures over and over again, and I think they grind my gears the most.
Kim Kardashian is the number one suspect for cultural appropriation. I mean, the hair, definitely the hair, and I mean their bodies. They all got their bodies injected in certain areas to look voluptuous. Like, Black women are more well-built in that hourglass frame, I feel like, very curvy. And I just feel like they kind of took just the way that Black women look and applied it to how it would benefit them for sex appeal. And they really have profited off of it for years.
What do you think of the whole tanning situation? Because I always see this in the comments, like, oh, it's not blackface, they're not blackfishing, like, it's just a dark tan. Do you think
I don't care if people tan. I don't care if white people tan. Do you? I mean, tanning helps you not get sunburn. It helps you, protect your skin. But my thing about it is, if you're going to tan, let's make sure that it's just a tan and not overly, like, darkening your skin. That's my thing. Like, if your skin isn't the same color as your face, Khloe Kardashian, then you should just not get that. like for me, that's just horrible. Like in Chloe's new picture, she has her new face and then a darker body. And I'm just like, Chloe,
you mean
like
Malika's face?
Oh yeah. I mean, she copied and
Malika's
pasted.
face?
It's like, Chloe,
Hello.
Malika already has a twin. She doesn't
Hello.
need another one.
You know, on Twitter, somebody said Get Out was a documentary.
Clearly.
In response to that picture, I was like, whoa, oh my gosh. Okay, when I saw it, I was like, okay, first off, you could barely recognize that it was Chloe to me. And I know that she is really into working out and she had that show Revenge Body and all that stuff. But I think sometimes they use that as covers for, you know, they still have, you know, their procedures done, whatever. I'm just like, come clean. That's fine. But now you've unveiled a totally new face that kind of looks like your friend who's Black, but it also doesn't look like you at all anymore. And I think that's where we get to the point where it's like, well, what is it?
Yeah.
Like we can't say it's all just working out. And also I think that means something needs to be fixed on the inside if you have to kind of try and look like someone else or look like another race to feel like loved or accepted or something like that.
Yeah. For me, I kind of disagree with you about the plastic surgery thing in the aspect of if it's something that you want to do and you're doing it for the right reasons, I think there's right reasons.
I never said not for the right reasons. I'm saying like I said just be.
No, but I'm saying I'm responding to you saying
just
the
be
inside
upfront with.
part.
I think like if you have something done or whatever, it's one thing to be like, oh, I got it, or if you don't want to tell anybody, but I think it's different when you are basically a walking ad and acting like only working out is how I got this body.
Yeah. I'm responding.
Like, it's false advertising.
I was just responding to what you said about the whole inside thing. For me, it's like, okay, go ahead, get plastic surgery as long as you're doing it for the right reasons. Like, say what you want, whatever. But my thing about
you
that
can't use multiple surgeries to fix it.
Yeah. My thing is, I don't even think she necessarily.
I still totally mean like, yeah, you know, obviously you want to work on the inside, but I think if you know what you're getting and why you're getting it and you're in a comfortable place, then yeah, but I think you're going to have a lot of problems if you don't also work on the inside.
Well, yeah. And my point is like, if you're going to have do what you got to do, whatever you feel like you want to do to make yourself feel better is great. But it comes to the point where it's like, okay, are you, like you said, are you okay within yourself? And if you're okay within yourself, just why so much? For me, it's not about how she looks. I think she looks great. It's just that transformation is so drastic to how she used to look to now, where that is coming off of like, okay, like you look completely different. Is everything okay? But it's honestly, it's not even just the Kardashians, like the whole culture appropriation. There's a lot of other artists, but like even just like that self-love aspect. I mean, there are Black people who are having issues with in their own skin. No pun there, but in their own skin because, you know, they're insecure. Like Doja Cat, like this whole Doja Cat thing just drives me crazy because it's like, as a mixed child myself, like her apology or whatever made absolutely no sense to me. She didn't,
it was like one of those PR apologies. To me, it felt like kind of washed over. It's like you weren't direct about anything that happened and anything that was brought up against her. So for anybody who happens to be unfamiliar, over the weekend, receipts were dug up that showed Doja Cat was on Tiny Chat in chat rooms. Many people claim that these chat rooms were actually run by incels. So she's basically hanging out online with white supremacists, and she let them call her. Well, I'm Black, so I'm gonna say it. She let them call her nigger with a hard ER. No, that's always a no. Regardless, I don't care how much Black you are.
I don't know any
we ain't giving out N passes.
Black person who says the N word with a hard ER. Like that is just like what? I don't get it.
And also, she has a song called Dindu, which is Dindu Nothing, which is a Black slur, basically referring to people who have dealt with police brutality. So that song was from 2015, but people are seeing like when you start adding up these receipts together, it doesn't look good. And then she's also had previous videos where she was bashing her own hair, saying like 4C can like kiss my ass, it can lick my ass, I hate 4C. For any of you guys who are listening that does not know what, you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a grade or a range rather of what your hair type can be, and one would be like straight, like you can't hold a curl for your life. And then you got that's like 1A. And then you got 4C all the way at the end, which is super curly, kinky, tighter coils, or even almost in a zigzag line. And she was just saying like, it's so like, it's hard, like you lick my ass, like you can't comb it, you know, you can't put a comb through it. Mm-hmm. So just kind of like really rough comments about herself. So it kind of adds up to look like she hates herself. Do you think that's the case, Blair, though? Or is it Twitter running with receipts?
I think she's very insecure, and I also it's a parent thing. I believe, I don't know for sure, but I don't think her mom probably educated her. I know her dad wasn't around, so she may not have had an example by her parents of how her culture is. But
her mom is white for.
I personally believe that her mom maybe just did not educate her the way that my mom taught me. My mom was very active when it came to my heritage and my culture, and she made sure that I knew what I was, how Black Americans are treated in America. She taught me how to handle if the police pull me over, her and my dad, you know what I'm saying? So I always was with a mom who was woke. And
I think that's commendable for sure. And I think it's great that your mom did that, because I think that's a responsibility that maybe people don't talk about enough. Like people are so caught up in the, oh my gosh, people are in interracial relationships. Yeah, let people be happy, but just know that I think you do have a responsibility as a parent, once you have children, to make sure that your child does know both parts, because when they're in school or they're, you know, out in the world, the way that they perceive themselves, the way that they know they're being perceived by others is something that they should be aware of to keep themselves safe, just to have proper confidence. Because I know that there's a lot of kids out there, unfortunately Doja seems like one of them, that just doesn't maybe love that side enough, or maybe doesn't love it enough right now. I think what people are also upset about is because it seems like she's profiting off of the Black side. There are also mentions that she, you know, wanted to be known as the slim, not slim thick, but like the thick, light skinned bitch or whatever, which, you know, colorism runs rampant in the Black community. And for anybody who does not know, that is kind of just giving praise to people who are like fair skinned or lighter, just because it's closer to white. Mm-hmm. So, whew.
I just don't understand it. I don't get the whole, again, my thing is just with her mom. I don't think she was properly raised to know what she was or educated. And that's the same thing with like, to compare it to Kim Kardashian is like, you know, she said that she wears her hair that certain way in braids because of North. You know, North asked her to wear her hair that way. And as a white woman or a light skin complexion, you should tell your Black child, unfortunately, I can't do that. That is a perfect learning moment. Unfortunately, I cannot wear my hair like this because it's not appropriate. And then teach her about culture appropriation. Yeah, that's perfect.
And I think what a bigger problem that comes to a head when it comes to Kim K is because even prior to her having North, she's been told repeatedly about the different things that she's done that is cultural appropriation, that takes away from our culture, that she's profited off of. And now she's saying like, oh, well, I'm just trying to identify with my child. But prior to that, you still kept doing it. You never listened. And I think, you know, saying that you want to identify and relate to a community, but when that community is telling you to stop, you should probably just stop.
Exactly. It's a respect thing too.
It's a respect thing. Yeah. And it's not adding up. So I think definitely to your point, there are other ways to identify with your child. Like you are their parent, like they know you're there. Just teach them properly. Cause I'm sure you identified fine with your mom. Mm-hmm. It's your mom. Like, you know, they are a lot. I mean, okay. Did you see that? I want to go back to Doja real quick, but did you see that she was being called Doja Karen online?
As she should.
And Doja Rat. I was just like,
not Doja Rat. Damn, that was shady.
I saw Doja Rat.
Oh, the tweets were hilarious. Tweets were
wild.
I just don't get the Doja Cat thing. I hope that now she's learned from it and she can kind of fix it, but I don't think her career will ever be the same. I think she messed up really. Like, I don't know how you come back from this. I really don't.
Is it me, or did she take a really long time to respond?
She took a really long time, where if I was if I said something like that, or if people found something that I did, I would totally just say it right away. Like, I'm so sorry. But she took too much time to plan
and give us a weak statement. It was weak. It was like, I am Black.
Okay, sis, we know that, but do you love yourself? That's what we want to know. Do you love yourself? If you were nominated for a BET award, would you be excited about that?
Mm-hmm. Or
if you get an NAACP
oh, it's cool.
award,
I'll come take
happy
this.
With that?
Exactly.
Like, oh my God, I don't want to go to the NAACP awards. That's what she's probably thinking. She doesn't want to go this year.
Oh my God, I don't want.
Horrible time to go.
For a number of reasons.
What do you think? Because there's been a lot of things with race recently. What do you think about the whole Lana Del Rey situation? Because I would have never thought Lana Del Rey would ever be in a scandal like this, ever.
I got a lot of thoughts. First off, I am a former Lana fan. I know not everyone's a fan of her music, but I followed her from 2011, 2012. Mm-hmm. Where her music, you could only find it on Tumblr. Mm-hmm. That's where I would find it. I have the CDs, yes, compact discs that I would play in my car, her first few CDs. I have the deluxe editions, all that stuff. And I think there's a lot of women in music who feel understood and they sing about it. Totally. I get it. I think her approach to calling out the double standards in the music industry was executed all wrong. Yeah. I see what she was trying to say, but do not drag down other women, especially women that are women of color. Yes, I know they're all the women on the top of the charts, and she was just trying to say, the women who are on the top of the charts, air quotes for those that, are listening online or something. But at the end of the day, she still was looking through her white lens and calling out Black artists after Black artists, saying that, they're not having a hard time for singing about being sexy. Yeah. I'm sorry, these are women of color. Yeah. We can barely walk out of our houses without having some sort of label put on us right away. So you cannot use them as your prime example. And so that annoyed me. Part two annoyed me is after we already told her in a huge upheaval to keep Black women's names out your mouth, she goes for round two, which she uploads a video on her Instagram, and it's I think it was really misunderstood what people thought I was saying, and I was talking about my friends, and then proceeds to say, when FKA Twigs is on a pole, it's art, but not when I am.
That part really threw me, because I was like, J-Lo was literally at the Super Bowl on the pole, and she received so much backlash,
so much hate.
A Latina, and you so inappropriate that you're getting backlash and that people call you a hoe. You are a white woman. You will be fine, Lana Del Rey. Yeah, you'll be fine. You are not Beyonce singing Formation and people threatening your life.
Yeah, and she sings about it to embrace, her femininity, her sexuality, fine, whatever. And I know that there have been critics or other artists who have said, oh, she's anti-feminist, she glorifies that stuff. But to come around and then, of all the people you could pick out, you want to say another Black artist. Yeah. It's you weren't listening, were you? Yeah. I guess the privilege is too loud in your ears. I don't understand, Lana.
I saw the video yesterday, and she said in the video, that someone didn't agree with her. So I'm guessing it was Ariana Grande, because they just had that song together. That's who I'm guessing it is. But I was just very confused why she's just not listening to people of color. She's acting whatever, you guys are she's pretty much saying you guys are stupid, F off. She did say F off. You guys, there's nothing to cry about. And it's Lana, we're trying to help you, because she actually has a large Black fan base. I love Lana, but there's a lot of Black people that listen to Lana. She's perfect for studying. She's perfect for just at the library, just chilling, or a pregame.
I was front row at her show at Coachella. That's the kind of fan I am. Okay?
Exactly. I love Lana too.
I was in there.
Yeah, and I love Lana too. But right now I don't, because it's girl, you don't respect my people. You don't respect our culture. And to start her statement off for the culture, I think she knows exactly what she's doing.
And she started using so much African-American vernacular when she was in that beef with Azalea Banks. Do you remember that beef?
Yeah, but people were rooting her on.
You didn't even talk like that before. And then you start putting on the...
But people were rooting her on, and I wanted to mention that too, is that when that all happened, people were praising Lana, Black, white, people were praising her because she was shutting Azalea up. as she should be shut up, too busy worrying about other things when she needs to worry about them chickens she's killing in the closet. But
she done warned us.
See, and that's my thing. I just don't understand.
Now I'm like,
I'm not trying to be shady, but come on, y'all. We got to be honest with each other. And Lana, you cannot, you can't do that. You cannot try to read other people and try to speak for other people, and you cannot even take it for yourself. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I was really hoping after she made that first, statement on her Instagram, I thought she was going to take it back, and I thought she would have listened to the culture who she was asking about in her first letter for the question for the culture. So I thought, okay, I'd give her some time. Maybe she'll think, reflect, and come back with a proper statement. And now I'm like, what am I supposed to do with all these CDs? Now what do I do with my CDs? Like,
Sell them.
Like, I can't come back from that second statement. I was hoping like, okay, I'm gonna give her a moment to reprieve, but it's not happening. And you know what this also reminds me of? This statement that Megan Fox made after this whole thing happened.
I love that statement.
Now, she did not mention Lana at all, but I'm going to read this out to you. And mind you, for everyone, I'm sure you guys have to know Megan Fox, Transformers. She's been in so many movies. Jennifer's Body. She's hot, still hot.
Very
probably
beautiful.
Will always forever be hot, beautiful, but also very smart. I think she's also very talented as an actress, and she has faced so much criticism before. She's faced a lot of backlash. There are rumors that she's difficult on set, but many people also believe those rumors have come because she did not want to fraternize with people who, tried to, take advantage of how beautiful she is and take advantage of her trying to get her acting career up. So this is what she had to say. There is never a need to compare yourself to other women. I know the struggle of being a woman in the industry. I know the feeling of being constantly scrutinized and degraded, but I would never invalidate the struggles other women have faced in order to give voice to mine, especially when those women have most likely faced worse. I'm on your side, but please accept that your struggle is not a singular one.
Period. I love it when white people speak up for Black oppression. I just have to say that. I love an ally. I love an ally.
I love an ally. And I think she hit it like head on, because I think there's always this issue in feminism that gets overlooked so much, is that white feminists see a white feminist agenda and they call that feminism, but they often overlook the part of feminism that a lot of Black women deal with and other women of color, but primarily like the issues and struggles that Black women have dealt with in America over time. There's this misogynoir and it's just overlooked. And I feel with Lana saying, well, first off, that I'm not a feminist, but there needs to be a place in feminism for women like me, is one very tone deaf and Karen of you to be like, make sure to give me space in a place that I don't want to be. What?
Exactly. It makes no... Thank you.
So, and then we already have the layered
complaining for nothing.
That is already part of
just complaining just to complain. Just to complain, bro. That's my thing. She's literally being a Karen. That's the whole thing. You are literally just bringing attention to something that is not there for you, baby.
It makes no sense. So it is just layered in the fact that there's already the racist you, but then you have this feminism layer on top.
You know what I think she's just mad at? I think she's just upset because she didn't win Album of the Year at the Grammys.
I was going to say, I feel like...
I think it's deep within herself. I think there's insecurity within herself that she felt like she's not getting the same success as a Beyonce, as Nicki Minaj, as Doja Cat. And she's very upset about it. I really do think it has nothing to do with her feeling singled out. It's her because she personally feels like she's not doing that much compared to the others. When
but she's not. Will she ever be a Beyonce or a Nicki Minaj or?
Yeah, and let's be clear. I don't think that she's on Beyonce's level, but I'm just saying she's.
Oh no! I'm just saying, but she will.
Yeah. Oh no! I wasn't saying to you. I was clearing up what I said. Yeah, I was clearing up what I said. So.
Oh no! Oh, you think we got you, Blair?
Yeah. Thank you. I don't want people to think that I think Lana Del Rey is in the same area as Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get the Beehive. They will. I don't want no beef with them.
I don't want no smoke.
I don't want no smoke.
You know what? That also reminds me that somebody even said, "Oh, she made sure she didn't act Rihanna."
She knows Rihanna would have said something.
I literally said she don't want that smoke. And Twitter was on that tweet. But honestly, yeah, she can't. She can't.
She really can't, honestly.
And honestly, now she really can't. Like, I don't know when women speak out like this and drag down other women, I really want to know what solution did you see coming out of that statement? And not just women, but people in general. When you attack another group to hopefully bolster your own, I don't get what solution you think's really going to happen. Like, do you really see yourself like somehow advancing from this or profiting from that?
Well, yeah.
Like, that seems like common sense to me.
What she said, what she did doesn't relate to her message, because if it did, she would have mentioned Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, Christina Aguilera. There's so many keep Ariana Grande.
We're dealing with it. There are so many, even Billie Eilish today.
Yes. Like where do you come up with this?
Artist decorated so much, and she's got so many different issues that, or problems, or people coming at her because she wears big clothes and this and that, XYZ, and, and she's so young too. So
yeah. I think instead of saying their names, she could have said like, we have broken this barrier, made it a we thing, even though I don't think that she's had the same level of success as a Beyonce and, all of them. But she did it on purpose to mention women of color. Yeah. That's my point. Whether it was intentional or not, it was something in her mind where she was bothered. That's my thing. She was bothered.
Yeah, she was.
Mm-hmm.
She took the time to write out each name.
Mm-hmm. And like, where's Pink? Crickets. God bless her, though. God bless you, Lana. I don't know what you're going to do from now on. I don't know how you're going to come back from this. I don't know what you're going to say to seem like you have learned from this experience, because you already made a statement. She should have never, ever made a second or third statement. And this could have not been as crazy had she not responded after Doja Cat. Like, if she just wouldn't have said anything and let the Doja Cat scandal roll over, we would all still be talking about Doja Cat. But then even after that, Lana still had to make a statement. So I want to
add more smoke.
She just wants the attention. Like, maybe she.
I feel like she just wants, and I feel like she also just wants the final word, because she has yet to apologize.
Yeah, I'm confused by that.
She just wants the final word. Maybe this is her ploy at trying to be relevant. Maybe. Some people believe, bad press is still press, and it's true.
Well, I know for sure her people are listening to her music, even more now. But I just wonder, what is this going to do on the long term? But I feel like for her brand, that was like, her brand was not to be mainstream. It was like, I'm that cool girl that you listen to so you can have a break from your other artists. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
That's why I was like, she'll never be one of those artists, because that was never really her MO.
Yeah, but I thought that was her intention. So now she's mad about it?
It's like, you wanted to be that indie, cool, offbeat artist.
Exactly. And I'm confused because her and A$AP Rocky are very close. So I'm like, okay, you have all these black friends, sis. Are they not telling you this stuff?
You A$AP Rocky, I don't know if he's the right friend.
Well, I'm just saying,
he's quite colorist, so I don't know if he's really going to come to the defense.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying she has black friends, and I hope that they are educating her on what she's saying is wrong, because it's crazy.
It is.
It makes no sense.
Ooh, yeah. I hope Doja has a few friends too.
But the whole culture appropriation, kind of going back to the main point of our episode, is it's something that I've learned growing up, that it bothered me since I was little. Like, because I am black and white, if I heard someone in my white family say like, not a racist slur, but like use certain words that we use and like make fun of them, like bougie or ratchet, and that they're like using, like doing the whole like this, and I find that disrespectful. So for me, I'm very like, okay, like, let's make sure we're being respectful, because black people just don't go out of their way to take from the white culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel like
it's not like we want mayo or anything.
I don't even like mayonnaise. Do you like mayonnaise?
We don't want it.
Yeah, I don't want it.
We don't want it. Mm-mm. And we like our seasonings. Thank you.
Yes, please add more than salt and pepper. There are way more. Creole seasoning is a very great start.
Or the Caribbean seasonings. Hello.
Girl, Creole seasoning. Ooh. Girl, mouth is watering. But then I think I'm gaining weight because of it. I was like, what am I eating differently in quarantine? I'm like, oh yeah, I just got that Creole seasoning. Maybe that's what's making me So if you want new hips and don't want to get ass shots like Kim Kardashian to look like a black woman, eat Creole seasoning.
Oh my gosh, the shade.
Can't help it.
Do you think she really gets ass shots?
I don't know if she got ass shots, but she definitely got maybe like a Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, okay.
But it's possible she got ass shots.
I've watched the show before in the past, and I mean, I do like that they're a little forthcoming about some of the stuff they've gotten done. But I'm like, if your whole body's a marketing campaign, we respect authenticity.
I think when Kim Kardashian first came out and she was like, my butt's real, like she got the x-rays to show, I think her butt was real, but she definitely got something done because it's just not proportionate. And if you look at before and after photos, that's the key. The before and after photos, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't correlate.
Well,
maybe she got a fat transfer. It's possible.
Transfer. Well, you know what? I mean, if you have, if you have the confidence, for anybody listening, respect cultures that you take from, give credit where it's due, learn to love yourself, learn to love others.
Period. That's what our show's all about, is just educating.
Don't wear my braids if you didn't get permission.
The Sadé braids. You're going to have white people walking around. I got the Sadé braids.
And then I'll have to be like, cornrows!
Come on,
cornrows, hoes!
Oh, but there is, oh my God, and the appropriation in music. Do you want to go into that topic or?
We got time. Got time today?
Because I feel like when you do, I mean, for example, I think Katy Perry is like the perfect example of why appropriating Black culture doesn't necessarily work. Now listen, all her first few albums were just very like, poppy. And then when she dropped Dark Horse, that's a Black song. You know what I'm saying?
Right when I heard that bass line, I was like, girl, it's like trap inspired.
It's a hit. Okay. Exactly.
And when she performed on a pole. Do you remember that at the beginning, the first time?
Do you remember her getting backlash, Sadé?
Because that's like a stripper dance.
Do you remember her getting backlash for that?
I don't recall, but maybe it's because
we should call Lana. We should call Lana.
She wasn't really that good at it.
She wasn't, but we should call Lana. And I don't want to see Lana Del Rey on a pole. Like can she?
Oh, then don't watch the Paradise video.
Oh, she actually gets does she do tricks?
Born to Die Paradise edition. She has. Which song was it? Why am I forgetting? Gods and Monsters, I believe.
But did she jump was she doing tricks?
She spins.
She just spins. Gold. I can spin. She doesn't do any backflips. No, like Summer Walker.
No. She don't
no J-Lo.
No.
Okay.
Damn. No tricks.
Ooh.
But yeah, but you were saying with Katy Perry, are you referring now to her? Not her. What was the last?
Well, no, I was just saying she went from Dark Horse and then she tried to do it again with that song with Migos. The
food one. I know. I'm trying to think
about it. It was horrible, but I'm like, okay, she tried it again.
I kind of liked it.
You did? Oh, Bon Appetit,
Bon Appetit, baby.
Yeah, but I'm like, girl,
I kind of liked it, but I think she had other issues. Like, remember when she came out with she had
the Miley Cyrus haircut?
Oh, that was another thing. Oh my gosh, the Miley Cyrus haircut, but then Miley Cyrus that whole time was taken from Black people wearing chains and the little outfits on a wrecking ball, twerking. Oh my God, I couldn't stand when they kept trying to attribute twerking to her. I was like, this word ain't new. It is not new.
You know what's so crazy?
We've all known this word.
So many of us complain about the whole Miley Cyrus thing still, but it's it's not that big. It's not as big as it should have been. Like, we should have been making that a big deal. Like, y'all, she's twerking on stage.
Attempted.
It was like a pancake. It was just flipping.
I don't think there's nothing there to twerk. So
there was nothing there. But I'm just like, you guys, we're just gonna let her take from the culture. Like, I remember being at parties, and I'm not gonna lie, when 23 came on, I'm in the club, high off perp. That was my song. But it's like, okay, this girl is doing too much. And then you realize that she really was just stealing for the culture, just for
hype. And then at that time, do you remember she had the album, what was
Bangers?
It called? Why am I forgetting?
Bangers. Yeah. Was it Bangers?
Bangers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have it. But
you said I have it. Damn.
I had it. But she had all of them were collabs with all of the hit makers, and the songs were popping, and they're all supposed to be trap inspired, all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay, this is what we're doing now, because it is trendy and it's cool. And she sees that she was profiting off of it with, you know, the younger mainstream white audiences.
Yeah.
It's like, but you never really were like given credit like that.
She was never for us. That's my point. If she was like, what was the Tina Marie? If she was like a Tina Marie, I'd be here for it. Tina Marie was white. She was very woke. She's black to me.
Mm-hmm. Same.
It's like hearing Robin Thicke for the first time. It's like, oh my God, that's a black man. And then seeing him on screen, it's like, oh my God, Robin Thicke is white? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about like Robin Thicke, like that one song that went crazy. I'm talking about like Lost Without You.
You're not talking about To Get You.
I know you want it. Ooh, I know you.
Oh, that one.
The one that he stole from Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. Ooh.
And got sued for it.
Ooh.
We all knew. This is why cultural appropriation is not cool, guys. This is not cool. So over the BS, today we are over cultural appropriation. But honestly, Sadé, I think we should ask the audience what they're over.
Yeah, we want to know what you guys are over. So wherever you're listening to this, why don't you find us on Twitter at Over the BS Show. You can find us on Instagram at Over the BS Show, and let us know what you are over. If you're listening,
and also
watching on YouTube, drop it in the comments.
Yeah, same thing with Instagram. Over the BS Show. And that's all for today's show. I had so much fun talking about this topic. I mean, we could have went on and on and on about this crazy time. But I'm happy that we kind of talked about it and wanted to dive in and kind of bring awareness, because I think a lot of African Americans have an issue with people taking from us. So it's kind of a way to kind of just like blow off steam.
Yeah. Get out there, because it grinds my gears.
Breathe in, breathe out. Well, you guys, my name is Blair. Make sure you guys follow me. I am Blair T.
And I'm Sadé Spence. You can follow me at Sadé A. Spence, and follow Over the BS at Over the BS Show on basically all the platforms.
Period. See you guys next time.
Period. See you guys later.